The shelter is only 2 acres, but here there live approximately 1,000 animals. So the use of space has been planned very carefully, and many fruit trees have been planted to help provide food for the cattle, the rabbits, the turtles, the birds, and so forth. All the farming here is organic and provides a very pleasant setting for the animals and the workers as well. Over the years, the permanent resident dog population of the VSPCA has grown exponentially. The municipality receives complaints from the public about certain individual dogs that are causing problems for whatever reason in the city. And so the VSPCA goes and picks them up and then brings them here. And if they're determined to be healthy and spayed, neutered, and vaccinated, then they're taken back to the city. But sometimes those same dogs are a problem again, so the VSPCA brings them back here, and they are allowed to live here, because otherwise it's game over for them. Also, the shelter finds small, tiny puppies in the road sometimes, or paralyzed or injured dogs that just will not recover sufficiently to make it on their own in the city. And so those dogs are given permanent homes here. The problem is that overcrowding has led to the situation where it's difficult to do as many street dog sterilization and vaccination jobs as we should be doing, just because of lack of space. So we need to get more space and housing infrastructure for the permanent resident dogs so we can maintain and expand our street dog ABC program. Here we have some of the permanent residents, the canine residents of the VSPCA, all tucked in the evening after their evening meal. They bring these beds out here. It's like their dormitory under the stars. The VSPCA has need for another structure to provide shelter to the permanent canine residents, which number just shy of 200, because during the monsoon season and also in the summer heat, they need a place to get out of the elements. And the kennels are chock-a-block with dogs already coming in and out for the animal birth control plan, and also with other of the many permanent residents that live here. There are very many permanent resident dogs here at the shelter. Dogs that just won't make it on their own back in the city. And this building here, the Octagon, was sponsored initially by Vizag Steel, and it was meant to become another shelter for the permanent resident dogs. However, construction has ceased, and we need funding to complete this structure desperately. The reason being that the municipality is threatening to resume killing street dogs if the VSPCA doesn't sterilize enough of them. So we have a certain quota to meet, otherwise they're going to start killing them again. That being the case, we need to have a facility for the permanent dog residents, so that will free up more space in the kennel areas for the street dogs to come in and get their sterilization procedure done. This is an urgent need. Through here is the lab. There really aren't any good labs in Visakhapatnam. So the vets have to rely on their own lab to do blood work. And it's a very basic lab. And it's something that we need funding to increase the scope of our ability to use here to expand the laboratory services. This is the quarantine unit. Dogs are brought in here that have either distemper, parvo, and that sort of thing. Right now there are no distemper and parvo cases, so we just have a few rescue dogs in here. One of the good results of the catch-release spay and neuter program and vaccination program is that there are a lot fewer cases of parvo and distemper that require quarantine. So we're seeing those effects. Initially, when the shelter opened, the whole place was a quarantine zone because parvo and distemper were so common. Now, however, it's far less frequent, we are happy to report. So, as needed, we can use this quarantine section for individual rescues. This mummy was picked up on the street with a full litter of tiny puppies. One of the positive effects of the spay-neuter program is that these cases are fewer and further between. However, because they were in a place where they couldn't possibly have survived, they were brought here. And the puppies will be, when they're old enough, put up for adoption. The mother will be spayed and released back to the part of the city where she was originally found.